everybody, it's Miranda and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing the Booktube Newbie Tag. I'm not entirely sure who started this tag, but I do know that I've been seeing it going around YouTube a little bit. And I just wanted to do it this week. I'm going to have a link to where I found the questions down below. That way you guys kind of know what to expect if you wanted to make your own YouTube channel. So, okay, without further ado, I got my phone pulled up. Let's get into the questions. Question number 1, why did you start this channel? I started my, I released an introduction video that kind of explained the overarching reasons why. But why I targeted Booktube in particular was because I felt like that I had some unique things to say about the books. Particularly if anybody follows me on Goodreads, you'll know that even if I give a book a 5-star review, I always talk about something that I liked about the book and something that I didn't like about the book. Even if it got a 5-star review, because you can give a book a 5-star review, and there was, of course, that one thing that gotcha about it. And, and that's not something that I personally see a lot on Booktube, so I just wanted to show that even though I liked a book, doesn't mean that I liked every single aspect of that book. So I just wanted to share that view with people, so that way everybody kind of gets the kind of a middle ground view on it. Of course, my reviews are starred, so they're a little biased, but yeah, I just wanted to share that unique perspective when it comes to reviewing books. Second question, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? So, besides the thing that I just mentioned, I am really excited to be doing reading vlogs and stuff. So that's something that I look forward to doing because I'm getting ready to kind of remodel, redecorate my library. So I feel like that would be something interesting to see. And there are books that I have on my shelf, there are a lot of books on my shelves that I haven't even read yet, and when it comes time to do an unhaul video, which will probably be my next Booktube video, we will see how that stuff kind of works out. But as far as unique and everything, a lot of my books are used, and that in and of itself comes with some unique things. You always find somebody's name in the book for me, and that just is fascinating. It's alright, whose book was this? Was this a child's gift or what? And sometimes, and I will make a video on this later on, you will find that some of the books that you enjoyed that were published back in the 80s were never finished. And I'm going to leave that on that to kind of be a teaser for you guys. Question number 3, what are you most excited about with your new channel? I think I already said that. I'm very excited to do reading vlogs. I'm excited to show you guys the transformation of my library. All of my books, you can see, are kind of congested, and I have them stacked up here. I think it's time for a new bookcase or to get rid of books that I don't like. So I'm excited to be doing all that. I feel kind of like with my writing vlog, if anybody watched that, there's something about having people watch you doing it, doing stuff that makes you motivated to do it. And what I mean by that is that, having somebody watch me clear off my shelves makes me want to do a more thorough job about doing it. Having somebody watch me decorate my shelves makes me want to do a better job at it, because even though rarely I have people who come into this room besides me, I still want it to look the best that it can be. So this whole room is going to be redone with new furniture and everything. And I'm hoping to bring you guys along on that journey. Question number 4, why do you love reading? So I believe that reading is a temporary escape from reality. So with that in mind, my favorite genres to read are fantasy, and every now and then I'll delve into something a little bit different. I tend to avoid books like historical fiction, but because of that core mindset that reading is supposed to be a temporary escape from reality, And I just like it. I mean, it's so nice to be able to move away from the hardships and the reality. So, and I like exploring the Enchanted Forest, and I like going to all those places in my stories, or in these stories that are in my library. So yeah, that's the reason. Question 5. What books or series got you into reading? This is a hard one because I don't really know, because I know that I've been reading since I was young. My mom loves to read, and she instilled that love of reading in me when I was younger. And I guess as far as what series, I mean, what comes to mind immediately is the Warrior series by Aaron Hunter. Those are books that I really, really enjoyed when I was young and in elementary school. I also enjoyed the series of Unfortunate Events while I was in school. I mean, that goes to show how old they are, but seriously. Yeah, those were books that I absolutely enjoyed, that got me into reading. That got me into reading thicker stories, more complex stories, and it kind of forced me. I don't know if you're forced if you enjoyed it, but it kind of convinced me or encouraged me. I'm finding the word here, and I'm not finding it. It kind of encouraged me, we'll go with that one, to stay devoted to a series. So those two series of books really helped me out. Number 6, what questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? So my 2 favorite booktubers are Jessie the Reader and A Clockwork Reader. And 2 questions that I would ask them, I think I would ask them, like, what their favorite stories that they read when they were a kid. Like, what stories did they read, or what books did they look into that really helped get them going? Even if they weren't into reading, or if they weren't into reading as a kid, that would be another question. What eventually got them into reading when they were older? So, and what books inspired that love of reading? That to me would be very fascinating to know. 7. What challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? Challenges, when I think coming up with content would be the hardest one, because I do want to do some bookish tags, but yeah. I do want to do some bookish tags and everything, but I don't want to do ones that are too old, and I don't want to do ones that are that weren't popular, or ones that are negative. I said in my introduction video that I want to avoid negativity on my channel as much as possible. So that would be a challenge. Another challenge when starting the channel, I guess, would be the consistency of my booktube uploads. I know that consistency should be like the thing that isn't the problem, but it is going to be a little bit of a problem because right now I'm only posting once a week, and I'm sharing my booktube content with a lot of other content, and because booktube is not the central of my channel. But that's going to be the biggest challenge, would be to find that perfect middle ground. Maybe one day, if my channel grows, then I will do videos twice a week where they're the different subjects, kind of like how I do my writing blog, which I will leave linked down below if anybody wants to check out any full book reviews on that. But yeah, that would probably be another big challenge, because I want to do writing content, and I want to do bookish content, and I want to do a little bit of gaming content, and a little bit of miscellaneous. The miscellaneous is going to be not the top priority. So yeah, right now as I'm starting my channel, I'm full of ideas to kind of get it going, but once it's off the ground, then it's going to be hard for me to keep up with the content. Not to keep up with it, but for me to find content for my booktube channel that's unique and that hasn't been done before. So, wish me luck. Okay, question number 8. When did you start reading? So, I kind of mentioned this earlier. I started reading when I was young. My mother kind of instilled that love of reading into me when I was really, really young. But I didn't really get into reading until I was in, I want to say upper elementary, and throughout middle school and high school was when I really got into reading, and then I kind of panned off when I went to college because the reading material for my college classes was not that interesting to me. And then now I'm very, very slowly picking up my love of reading again. But what was the question again? When did you start reading? I would have to say it would have been at a young age, and then I didn't really get into it till I was older. And yes, so that would be the answer to that. Next question. Question number 9. Where do you read? That depends. Most of the time I actually do my reading in here if I'm reading like a hard copy of a book like what's behind me. But if I'm reading an audiobook, I like to do that while I'm cleaning. So I'll be all around the house listening to my audiobook while I'm cleaning the house. Or if I'm going somewhere that isn't going to have any entertainment for me, then I will bring a book to read with me. So it just depends. I tend to not bring my books on vacation with me because usually my family likes to keep a vacation agenda, and so I don't bring books with me while I'm on vacation because we're usually caught pretty entertained. But otherwise, yeah, I read in this room here, and with audiobooks, I listen to it around the house while I'm cleaning, and then for every now and then when I go somewhere and I don't have anything to do, then I will bring a book with me. Okay, question number 10. What kind of books do you like to read? So I'm going to break it down. So kinds of books, I'm going to say, do I prefer ebook or hard copy or electronic book? I actually don't mind sharing the three. I tend to lean towards hard copies of books and audiobooks because the hard copies are easy for me to follow. The audiobooks are easy for me to follow, but to have it on like my Kindle, I have books on my Kindle. It's hard for me to stare at a screen for long periods of time. And quite honestly, I just don't retain as much information from an ebook as I do a hard copy of a book. There's something about holding it. I'm like a lot of people, there's something about holding it that makes it feel better. As far as what genres I read in, like I said earlier, I tend to read in fantasy is my main genre that I read in. Sometimes I'll read a little bit of like a innocent romance. Genres that I avoid would be mystery because, like I said earlier, I read with the idea that I'm doing a temporary escape from reality, and reading murder mysteries just is too real for me. Unless it's a mystery in a fantasy novel, then that's different. But like just random mysteries that people read, I don't do that. And I don't read a lot of historical fiction either because those books tend to bring me down. And after a long, hard day at work, I really don't want to read something that's going to bring me down. So I have some historical fiction that I've read that I have on my shelves that I liked, but I don't go out of my way to read historical fiction, if that makes sense. So yes. Books. So I'm going to kind of give a bonus question here. What would cause me to kind of DNF a book or whatnot? That's not really a bonus question, but we're going to talk about it anyway, because it's Booktube related. And you'll find that because I don't have negativity on my channel, I probably will not be posting 1 or 2 star reviews. I find that if there's a book that I absolutely dislike, that is just not, I just won't even waste my time on it, honestly. I mean, honestly, there are books that I've read that I absolutely hated. I've read books that I have hated, and I didn't waste my time. I mean, I read a book once, and I hated it so much. I mean, I'm saying hate, because I did hate this book. I hated it so much that I threw it down across the room, and I was done with it. I would not waste any time on it. I didn't even spend time reviewing it. I just told my husband, I'm like, I do not like this book at all, and I'm not going to read it anymore. So you might find books appear on my Goodreads shelves and then they disappear with no review or nothing. Those are probably books that I DNF'd. but I'm not going to outright say what books I DNF'd or what they are or whatever. Because chances are, if I DNF a book because of it was just something I didn't like, it would be for more personal reasons than it would be for anything else. So, yeah, that's a bonus question. I hope you guys enjoyed my bookie, wow. I hope you guys enjoyed my bookish newbie tag. And I look forward to creating more content. Next week I'm going to be doing the author newbie tag. That way we can get to know a little bit of my writing side some more. And then after that, hopefully, we'll go from there. So I will see you guys next week. Bye!